Hello to all YouTubers and welcome back to another video by yours truly, NewYorkSteelo. Today we're going to be covering a quick update of the 90-gallon system and check out some of the things that have been going on at day number 65. We are over 2 months old. Time really flies fast, and we're also going to cover today in this video here, we're going to cover a brief, review of Anthony Calfo's Marine Plants and Algae poster here. Now, I got this poster for free from a local fish store here, and I'm just using some supplements here, which we're going to talk about the supplements as well on this update here today. And so I do have another poster here, and this is the one for anemones and clownfishes. We're going to be covering that one as well. And this poster here is just absolutely great. I mean, it has all the different species of algae here. There's picture illustrations on them. There's the scientific name for the algae as well as the common name. And then, a brief description about what the algae is, what to look for, whether it's good or bad. We're going to cover all of that. But briefly here, before we start with the review of the poster, we're going to do a quick tour of my 90-gallon system. We're going to talk about how well the system has been doing here. Now, system has been doing great. I mean, there are no complaints here whatsoever. The diatoms have been dying out. Day number 65. We're going to take a closer look here at the sand bed, which looks very, very healthy. There is no algae whatsoever growing on the sand. This should be typical of a 2-month-old system which has gone through new tank syndrome. I do have a video, guys, on new tank syndrome and old tank syndrome, very often overlooked. Definitely check out my videos list and look for that video itself, because it's very important when it comes to this hobby. Now, all the corals have been doing absolutely well here. Very little nuisance type algae growing. There is some, I'm not sure if this is either bryopsis or maiden's hair algae. I'm not quite sure, but for the time being, it's going to remain there. It'll serve as food when the cleanup crew video gets here, and the video and the cleanup crew gets added to the system. Now, one thing I will talk about briefly here with this update with the cleanup crew here is that one of the reasons why I have not added the cleanup crew is, once again, there's really not much nutrients going on. I mean, you can see the water is just crystal clear. You can see the shimmering effect in the back. You can see it all over the front of the glass here on the sands. It's really crystal clear water, and that is due to the filtration system that I've installed below on this system. And we're going to take a quick look down here. Just want to make sure that I cover everything on day number 65. The system is just looking spotless and clean. I mean, you can see it here. The pumps are working perfectly fine. You can see the phosphate reactor here with some Roa Phos. Now, there are 2 bags of ChemiPure Elite located here beneath this sponge here. Just filtering out the water, further helping out the phosphate media. And there's also a bag of ChemiPure sitting on top of these rocks here. And so you can see the bag of ChemiPure there. And it's just to prevent some of these bubbles from really escaping the top there. And so, 3 bags of ChemiPure Elite, a combination of a deep sand bed here, a deep sand bed in the main display here, Miracle Mud, the Rubble Rock, the macroalgae, which I have 2 of here, which we're going to look at in the poster in a minute. But I have Chaetomorpha algae, one of the best algae to ever use, guys. Seriously. Never goes asexual, never tries to reproduce by releasing the toxins that it has removed from the system. On the other hand, I do have some Caulerpa prolifera, I believe it's called. Forgive me for not pronouncing it correctly, but this algae, on the other hand, does go asexual. And so it is important that if you have this type of macroalgae, the Caulerpa prolifera, it's very important for you to light your refugium 24 hours a day, therefore preventing it from going asexual. But the combination of this filtration system is just really doing an awesome job. The protein skimmer, I put my hands in the system and fed the rose bubble tip anemone a few minutes ago, which is really looking thick. It really is, and it really is, we're going to take a closer look here, just looking absolutely beautiful. Now you can see that there is a piece of this frag here, and this frag is actually the bushy acropora. Now I was unable to fully, save this coral here, so I literally noticed that this section here is the one that was really growing and starting to overcome the bottom of the base. So, I kept that piece and just discarded the rest of it because it really wasn't recovering well. And it's perfectly normal, considering that it's a wild caught specimen. Some corals just don't do very well, and some are really healthy and some are not. This one in particular here, it's also a wild caught specimen, but very healthy. The branches are just growing everywhere. I mean, you can see it's taken different shapes and turns all over the past couple of months, being raised on the 30-gallon nano system. Everything is just doing absolutely well here. Lots of growth, which I could not show you before on this particular coral here. Now you can see that there's a little bit of a base growing down here at the bottom base here. You can see there's a coral head there, a coral head sticking out there. The recordias are just huge. I mean, they're the size of my fist. The leather coral here, the toadstool, the polyps are just extending like 1.5 inches out there. I mean, it really is healthy. The green and orange stylophora here is growing so much that it's starting to resemble a bird's nest, but it's not. It's really an orange-green stylophora. So lots of growth. The system is just doing absolutely awesome. The blue sponge, which is my absolute favorite here, has been budding off like there's no tomorrow. You can see a piece that fell off there. You can see a piece over on this side as well, and you can see it right there in the middle of, in between those two little nudges of rock. And down here below, there's a feather duster back there, and there is another piece of blue sponge there. So this blue sponge here has been absolutely growing like there's no tomorrow. At the tip on the top, you can see that there's new growth and new shapes and new developments here. There's also a small piece beneath this mushroom here, this recordia. I don't know if you can see it well, but let's see if I can capture this. But there is definitely a blue small piece of sponge back there, and so the system is just absolutely doing beautiful. Great filtration system, guys. Highly recommend the Miracle Mud. Highly recommend the Protein Skimmer. Highly recommend the Sump Refugium. Definitely an awesome system. And I'm really looking into adding about 10 to 15 more corals in the next couple of days. So with that update, day number 65, hope you guys have enjoyed this part of the video. We're going to move on to the review of this algae poster here, and we're going to go through each and every one of these different types of algae individually, just in case you don't ever buy the poster. But if you ever do want to get the poster, you can definitely go online and you can check it out. Many of these places sell it online for like $5 or $6. Some of it might cost you up to $15. This one in particular does not have is not in the best of shape. You can see some rough edges here, but considering that I got it for free and I really wanted to show this to you guys, I think that it's great. So I'm gonna edit the video here, and we're gonna come right back and we're gonna dive right into this particular poster here with the review. So stay tuned and I'll be right back in a moment. Okay, so this is the second part of the video, and we're back here, and we're going to cover the poster in detail. Now, I mentioned in the first part of the video that I had some supplements here, and you can see some essential elements here and some other supplements. They're just holding the poster open together because it was rather folded together. But I did want to touch up a little bit about the supplements in this 65-day 90-gallon system update here. You know, I do dose the system on a daily basis. I dose the system calcium and alkalinity, 30 to 60 milliliters a day. Very important. I have a lot of corals that are very demanding, lots of growth, and they're just eating up the calcium and alkalinity, like right there. Like they're just keeping it. I keep it at around 420 to 450. But do dose daily, 30 to 60 millimeters, sometimes 90 millimeters of a day of calcium and alkalinity. And this is to ensure that your pH stays up and everything of the sort. So, very important, some of the supplements that I've been using here, aside from calcium and alkalinity, strontium, iron, essential elements, and iodine. Very important. When it comes to the calcium and alkalinity, I dose the system daily. And when it comes to the strontium and all the other supplements, do them on a weekly basis. You know, try to add less than what they recommend. It'll still help ensure that your system survives. The only reason why I'm actually dosing the system on a weekly basis is because I have not done water changes to the system since day number 1, and I probably won't until about 6 months down the line. So here is the poster. And so the great thing about this particular poster here is that each bar here, which illustrates 2 different species which are relatively have the same care needs. Now, you know, I'm not going to really describe the scientific names, and I'm not going to really read everything to you guys. You guys can easily pause the video and read the remarks here. Now, this one here is Dictyota, or Dictyota. I'm not, you know, if I misspelled it or pronounced it wrong, I apologize. But there's also Y-branch algae here, and you can see a clear picture of it, and it's really green and sort of a blade-like, you know, razor blade algae, also known as that as well. Here's another picture of this algae. And so each one of these bars is going to give you, now I'm going to read you the first one here so you can see now. It's going to give you the suitability, the size and growth, the special needs, the remarks, and the ability to control this algae. A very, very important. There are some algae here in this poster that you definitely do not want to have in your system. And so here, suitability in this particular species, most species are categorically a nuisance when it comes to this particular algae. I have owned this algae years ago, I think in 2007, never really used it again. Once again, because of its ability to go asexual. And when a macroalgae goes asexual, it releases these toxins into the water, and it's going to affect your corals and everything else, because it's basically releasing all that nitrate, phosphate, and everything else that it has consumed. So it's important that if you have this type of algae, I'm not saying that it's impossible for you to keep it, but if you do have this type of algae, very important for you to light it 24 hours a day in order to prevent it from going asexual. Now here on this side is Lobophora. Now it's brown wafer algae. Now you can see 2 pictures of it here. Also a description of it in detail here. Now below it here, and of course you can pause it easily and just read it out. Below it here is the red leaf branching. You can see the red leaf branching here on this side, red leafy, both the same, gives you all the general information about it. Down here on this side, sargassum. I've actually had this algae here several times throughout the years that I've been in this hobby. Down below, very important, red hair, or also known as wire algae. This is It is a species of red hair algae. Not all red hair algae is bad. This one in particular, tangs really love it, and you can read it here, all the information and how to control it, remarks, special needs, and the such. Now here on the side is, I believe it's Hypnea or hookweed, and you can see a clear picture of it as well here. You can see a detailed picture of it as well here, and you can pause it and read the information here. Down below is a branching, leafy, and calcareous different varieties of macroalgae. You can see a picture here. I have had this particular algae, this green turf-like tough algae that you see here. Apologize for the string again, but I have owned this particular algae here. It came in one of my rocks years ago. Here's another picture of it. And here is the information for you to pause it. Now on the side here is, of course, information on coralline algae. Best algae that you can possibly have in marine aquariums. Absolutely. All the information you need is there, and you can see different colors and species here, and you can also do further information online when it comes to these particular algae. Down below here, absolutely the #1 best algae here for the use of a refugium, which is Chaetomorpha, also known as spaghetti algae. You can see a picture of it here, and you can see some strands of it here, individually, and all the information that you need is there. Absolutely the best algae. Now here on the side is another species of algae here, and this is called unicellular phytoplankton, green water. Very, very common, especially when you position your tank near a window or something like that. In this case, the sun, I've positioned it in this way so that the sun never hits the tank. It just does not hit the tank. But commonly, when you place a tank near a window, you're gonna get green water, and this is where the use of a UV sterilizer can be actually, or the use of ozone, and you can see it here where it says controls. Ozone and UV will quickly kill any unwanted blooms in display aquaria. So here is the information for you to pause it and take a look at it. Now here, very common algae in live rock, especially Fiji and the such, bubble algae. Very common misconception. People swear that this algae is bad. I'm here to tell you that this algae only consumes nitrates and other negative, unwanted nutrients in your tank, and it's really not that difficult to deal with. I mean, if it turns into a huge outburst and outbreak of this particular algae, you can easily remove it with your hands. So it's not that difficult to deal with. Don't go all crazy if you find some bubble algae in your tank. Now, here is filamentous algae, hair algae, possibly what I have there on my system on the top display here. Very common, very nuisance. Same difficulty to remove, actually a little more easier to remove than that of cyanobacteria, and I may actually do a video in the future on hair algae problems and solutions. So down here, of course, diatoms, golden brown algae, also known as. You can see a picture of it there, and you can see some of it growing here as well. All the information you need there is in case you want to pause it and take a look at it. Here is different species and Caulerpa varieties. Now I do want to try to get my hands on red bubble algae. This one here, you can pause it as well and take a look at some of the information here. This one here is Rhizophora, mangrove trees. You can see it here, all the information that you need in case you want to use this. And I do believe that my stand has the height for me to be able to allow some mangroves. So we'll see what the future holds for future videos. Maybe I'll actually get myself some mangrove trees and show you how to work with that as well. Cyanobacteria, God, if I could just, and the great thing about this particular algae is that without it, life would cease to exist. This is a very important part of life, but a very nuisance type of algae in our display. You can pause it there. Here's a picture of it. Here's a picture of it on this side as well. Very film-like, easily removed from rocks and everything. Very dusty, very ugly nuisance, full of bubbles and gas pockets algae. Now here below is seagrasses, submerged. I've actually had quite a number of species. You know, I've had over the years, but they do tend to die out, especially with the predators in the tank. But you can easily pause it here and take a look at this information here. And here is the last algae, which is marsh grasses immersed, and the information is found there. Now there are this one in particular here, this Anthony Calfo marine poster. They have like 6 different posters. Now we're gonna cover this one here in a future video, which is anemones and clownfish, and then I'm probably going to purchase the rest of them just to show you guys what they are. But definitely, if you see them online and you want to get your hands on it, highly recommend them. All the information that you need is there, or you can see it on the video itself. But the tank is just doing absolutely beautiful. Many more videos to come, guys. Hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Many more videos to come. NewYorkSteelo signing out. Peace.